Look at your last meal, whatever it was. Now imagine traveling back 200,000 years and placing that meal in front of one of your ancestors. They would not recognize it. Not the bread, not the packaging, not the fork you used to eat it. Every single thing you consume today was invented in the last 10,000 years. But here is the strange part. Your body is still running on software that is 200,000 years old. And what that software was designed to eat would change everything you think you know about hunger and cravings and the food on your plate right now. So let us go back to the very beginning, before cooking, before farming. Before any of this existed, your ancestors were not kings, they were hungry every single day. And what they did to survive would shock you. Here is the story most people believe about ancient humans and food. Big spears, bigger animals, a powerful hunter bringing home a mammoth while the tribe cheers. It is a great image. It is mostly fantasy. For the vast majority of human history, big game hunting was rare, dangerous, and more often than not, unsuccessful. The real story of what your ancestors ate every single day is far stranger, far harder. And it starts not with fire or spears, it starts with dirt. Your ancestors were not mighty warriors, they were scavengers. They ate what others left behind. They were foragers, they were survivors. And survival looked nothing like you imagine. So what did they actually eat? The number one food source for early humans was not meat, it was plants. But not the kind you would recognize, not sweet peppers or crispy lettuce. We are talking about bitter roots torn from hard-cracked earth with bare, bleeding hands, wild grasses with seeds so tiny that collecting a single cup took an entire morning of work. No tools, no gloves, just hands and desperation. Studies of modern hunter-gatherer groups show that between 60 and 80% of all daily calories came from plants. Not hunting, not fishing, plants. This was the foundation of human survival. Every morning before the sun was even fully risen, they were already on their hands and knees, searching, digging, collecting for something, anything. This was breakfast. The single most important food that kept the human species alive was a tuber, a wild root vegetable buried underground. Ugly, hard, almost inedible when raw, but underground meant safe from animals. Underground meant available even when the surface was dry and dead. When droughts came and everything above ground died, the tubers were still there, waiting underground. Researchers studied the Hadza people of Tanzania, one of the last groups living close to the original human lifestyle. Tubers made up a massive portion of every meal. Your ancestors did not survive because they were great warriors. They survived because they were great diggers. The most powerful tool was not a spear. It was a digging stick. A simple, sharpened branch that fed more people than any spear ever did. Generation after generation. Thousands of years of digging. This is what kept us alive long enough to become what we are today. Now here's the part that will make you uncomfortable. The most reliable protein source for most of human history was not an antelope. It was not a wild boar. It was insects, termites, beetles, fat white larvae the size of your thumb, grasshoppers. They were not eaten as a desperate last resort. They were dinner. A single handful of termites delivers more protein per gram than the same amount of beef. They require no hunting strategy, no weapons, no risk. You find the mound, you dig, and you eat for over 1 million years. This was lunch. Then around 1 million years ago, something changed everything. Fire. The oldest controlled fire ever found by archaeologists is inside a cave in South Africa. And fire did not just keep early humans warm. Fire invented cooking. And cooking changed the human body permanently. Raw food forces your digestive system to work for hours just to extract basic nutrition. Cooked food is already partly broken down before it enters your mouth. More calories per bite, less energy to digest. And all that saved energy went to one place, the brain. It grew, it expanded, it became the most complex object in the known universe. All because of cooked food. Cooking did not just change what we ate, it changed what we became. Every meal cooked over a fire was a step toward the world we live in today. Let us talk about real hunting. Because it did happen, it just looked nothing like the movies. Ancient humans could not outrun a zebra, could not overpower a buffalo with bare hands. What they did instead is called persistence hunting. They followed an animal on foot for hours, sometimes an entire day, reading footprints, broken branches, disturbed soil, slowly and relentlessly following until the animal collapsed from exhaustion. Not strength, not speed, just patience, intelligence, and legs that could walk forever. This is how they fed their families, and when a kill was finally made, nothing was thrown away. Nothing. Every part of the animal was eaten. The liver first, raw and still warm, because it is the most nutritionally dense organ in any animal. The kidneys, the heart, the stomach lining, the tongue, even the eyes. The fat surrounding the organs was the most precious part of all. Fat was calories. Calories were survival. A piece of fat in the ancient world was worth more than any cut of lean muscle. Your body still knows this. The bones were cracked open for the marrow inside, gray, slick, dripping with fat. This was a delicacy. The hide was used for clothing and shelter, the sinew for rope, the bones for tools. Nothing was ever thrown away. Nothing. Finding food was dangerous. But finding water was terrifying. Every water source in the ancient world was a death trap. Because every animal that needed water knew where it was. Crocodiles waited just below the surface, lions crouched in the grass nearby, leopards watched from the trees above. Ancient humans had to approach every water source slowly, silently, always watching in every direction. A moment of carelessness at the water's edge did not mean getting wet, it meant dying before the first sip. This is why your body still tenses in dark, unfamiliar places, why you still feel watched when you cannot see clearly. Ancient humans had seasons of plenty and seasons of almost nothing. A good season meant eating everything you could find and storing fat on your own body for what was coming. Because what was coming was winter. Every craving your body has right now was designed for that world. The craving for fat, for salt, for sugar, for the richest, heaviest, most calorie-dense thing you can find. None of it is weakness. None of it is a disorder. It is a 200,000-year-old survival program running inside a modern body. Your ancestors who craved fat and ate it survived the winter. The ones who did not crave it did not survive. You exist because of those cravings. And now the world has filled itself with food engineered to trigger every single one of your ancient cravings at the same time. You never stood a chance. But now at least you know why. Your body is not broken, it is ancient, and it is still trying to keep you alive. Subscribe to Ancivex. New video every 2 days.